Hello again and welcome to our program from the Daughters of Destiny Interdenominational Fellowship and Busola Jegede. Today we have a wonderful package for you, and I invite you into this power-packed program. I want you to invite somebody, call a friend, settle down and avoid being distracted. Make sure you pray along. I pray you will be blessed even as you watch.
Your God is calling you. He's calling you to greatness. He's calling you to move ahead. He's calling you to step ahead. So take that step in your backward. Being able to fast and pray is not enough to succeed. You must know how to apply kingdom principles. I decree in the name of Jesus, every promise of God that you are holding on to from January to now, that you are yet to see, it will come to pass in the name of Jesus. Pray and declare to somebody today, though you do not expect it, though you are yet down, let there be a divine arrangement for your destiny in the name of Jesus. Let's decree that the righteousness of God will be established in Nigeria. You will not walk down into destruction in the name of Jesus.
Daughters of Destiny Interdenominational Fellowship for the Women of Purpose. At DOD, lives are being transformed with the life-changing Word of God. Women are discipled as intercessors for the family and nations. Marriages are restored. There is healing for the body and the soul, and destinies are birthed.
You're welcome to today's broadcast. I'm Sibling Jegede. Today we're looking at the topic Sibling Rivalry. And I want us to take our text from the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1. Adam lay with his wife, Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother, Abel. Now, Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. 4. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it." Now Cain said to Abel his brother, "Let's go out to the field." And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Verse 9. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened his mouth to receive your brother's blood. When you walk the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." What a tragic story. I want to imagine the mother, Eve. How would she have felt? One of her sons dead, the other cursed. This will not be our portion in Jesus' name. But this brings to fore the importance of the subject matter of today, sibling rivalry. How do we as parents, how do we especially as mothers guard against this? Now, we see the story of Cain and Abel. Cain did not start out being bad. He wasn't born bad, but he just could not manage his emotions. So what is sibling rivalry? Sibling rivalry is when there is competition between two siblings, a brother and a sister, or a brother and a brother, or a sister and a sister, whichever sex, but it is competition within the home. And this competition tends to become unhealthy. How do we prevent our children from getting into unhealthy competition? Now, what kind of competition should we encourage among our children? Whether we like it or not, unconsciously, most of our children are competing when they bring their results home, when they do well in school, when one is good in maybe in music or in arts or in football or in singing. Children naturally tend to get under pressure because of a good thing that their sibling has done. When there is an older child who is very brilliant, it automatically puts pressure on the younger ones to achieve. So, how do we guard against unhealthy competition? If we look even in biblical times, there were so many cases of sibling rivalry, even within Jacob and Esau, between Jacob and Esau, between Joseph and his brothers. So, the important thing is that as mothers especially, we need to watch out for unhealthy competition. We have to be careful that we do not promote it ourselves. Now, the first thing that we may consider is that as mothers and as fathers, as parents, we should avoid taking sides. When two of our children have an issue and they come to us, we should be objective whenever we want to resolve such issues. Even if there is a particular child like Cain, the Lord pointed out to Cain that sin is crouching at your door. We may have a particular child that has a tendency to be off, to be unruly, to be disobedient. We may see that trait in that child. We need to lovingly guide that child and not make it so apparent that, oh, we know it is so and so that's going to be the noisemaker. We know it is so and so that is going to disrupt things. As parents, we need to be careful because these children are very sensitive and they may take up these emotions the wrong way. Now, apart from not taking sides, we should always be fair to our children. We should be fair. Whenever there is an issue, we should always be fair. We should not allow the past actions of these children to affect us in the way we judge a present situation. Let's be fair. Let's take matters on the face of it. That particular case at that time, let us be fair in the way we judge it. And not just talk to the child anyhow or pull down the child with our tongues, especially we mothers. The third thing we need to do in order to prevent sibling rivalry is that we should avoid showing favoritism. Now, this is different from taking sides when there's an issue. But sometimes as parents, and especially as mothers, we may have favorites among our children. Maybe there's one of your child that looks like you and you tend to like that child. Or maybe the child talks like you, or the child acts the way you do, and the child gives you joy. We must prevent showing it. That was what happened to Joseph. And he got into a lot of trouble with his siblings. Because his father loved him. He made him a coat of many colors. And the Bible did not record that he gave the other ones anything. Now, is it bad to give your son a coat of many colors? No, probably not. But you see, he had a favorite and he showed it. Now, when a parent shows favoritism, the first thing it does is to make that favorite child an object of attack by the other ones, because they will feel that it is that favorite child that is depriving them of their own share of love and attention. So we need to be careful. We shouldn't show favoritism. Now, let us see the Bible verse so that we can fully understand the point I'm trying to make. Genesis 37 from verse 3. Genesis 37 verse 3. Now Israel, that is Jacob, loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age, and he made a richly ornamented robe for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. So, because their father showed favoritism, he showed it off because he was the child of his old age. That wasn't the making of Joseph. He was just favored. But because his father showed him, it evoked two different kinds of emotions in the other siblings. Number one, hatred. And then number two, they could not speak a kind word to him. So Joseph became a subject of attack, of ridicule. I want to imagine in the household, they were always bossing him around, calling him names. Not because of anything he had done, but because of the treatment he got from his father. So we need to be very careful as parents not to put our children in harm's way. Because even in the home, there can be a lot of things happening right under our noses that we do not even have an idea of. There may be danger lurking in the home. Now let's see verse 5. Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. And he said to them, listen to this dream I had. Now, here was Joseph, not knowing the emotions the brothers had towards him, and he was just telling them about the dream he had. And so we also need to be careful when we have children who are talented, who are gifted. Maybe one child is good in mathematics and the other is not as good. We need, as parents, we need to let every child know that they're unique. Yes, you may be a science student, you may be doing well in maths, and your brother or sister may be doing well in the arts. We as parents should not say, if you don't know mathematics, then maybe you don't know anything. We should not place too much emphasis on certain things because that is what our favorite child is good at. These things are very, very important. Whether we're born again or not, we need to watch out for these things. Now, sibling rivalry, as we can see, led to hatred. So it leads to hatred, it leads to jealousy, and jealousy is such a strong negative emotion. People can kill because they're jealous. We need to be careful. Sibling rivalry can also lead to animosity. The Bible said they spoke no kind word to him. And we have even seen families where the animosity was even taken a step higher. Maybe they even grew up, got married. That rivalry, that animosity was transferred to their spouses and their children. And many families today are not united because of sibling rivalry. Now, sibling rivalry is something that we need to kill. When we see it in our children, we need to sit them down and teach them how to love one another, appreciate one another, especially when we see the older child taunting the younger one or taking advantage of the younger one. We should not encourage such. Also, if there is a child who is retarded or who is disadvantaged in a way, maybe slow in speech or not good in a certain area, or maybe the physiological makeup. You see, some children may be obese, and the other children in the home may keep on talking about this, making fun of them. This can lead to low self-esteem. And a lot of young people, teenagers, are known to be depressed. And most of these things happen in the home. So we should not allow such. We should let the other siblings respect that particular child for who he is or who she is. We will be right back after this time out. Daughters of Destiny is an interdenominational fellowship where we raise women as intercessors. We are in different cities of the world, and we have 3 core areas of ministry. We have the prayer ministry, and we have the prison ministry. We go to the prisons to minister to female inmates, and we are passionate about repackaging them, especially after they are released from prison. What we realize is that as women, when women have spent time away, when they come back, most of them would have lost their families. And so we are committed to having a safe house in Nigeria where female inmates can be rehabilitated. We want them to learn skills, we want to repackage them so that they can better reintegrate back to society. The 3rd arm of our ministry is women empowerment, and here under this arm, we have set up the Destiny Business Institute, where we teach skills to women. We do business networking so that the women can follow up their vision with a venture. These are our core areas of ministry. If the Lord is leading you to help us in any way, to partner with us, to support us financially, we have a lot of widows that we support. We have a lot in order to print that we send to school. Would welcome your partnership in cash or in kind. If you want to get in touch with us, our email address is scrolling on the screen, and our telephone numbers are showing as well. God bless you as you join this work. Welcome back. We've been talking about sibling rivalry. Now, one of the ways we can avoid the dangers of sibling rivalry as parents, and especially as mothers, is to make sure that we're equitable in the way we deal with our children. Let's give them equal tasks. It shouldn't just be one particular child that does the most difficult or the less appealing duty around the home. Have a roster. If somebody sweeps this week, empties the dustbin, somebody washes the toilet or cleans the room, make sure that the other child too will also do exactly the same thing at another time. Another way is also to be equitable with our discipline. When a child goes wrong and we discipline, maybe by saying we take away privileges for a week or whatever discipline we want to apply, if the favorite child does something wrong, that child should also go through that particular kind of discipline, because these children are watching, they are taking notes, and we may not know it. And children are extremely sensitive, and a lot of things we do to them at the formative years, it sticks to their memory and they carry it throughout life. Sibling rivalry is something that, if not taken care of, stemmed or nipped in the bud, it can even be transferred to spouses. Many people have been known to, grow up, get married, and transfer the rivalry to their spouses. And this is not good. It leads to family breakdown. Sibling rivalry is something that we need to watch out for as parents.